All right, this one's going to be a little bit different because I have 4 games to recap because I did not record a video the day before. And the lighting's also going to be worse because, it's raining outside and whatnot. And yeah. So, yeah, there's that. More importantly, let's just. Jesus Christ, man. Okay, so the Cavs are down 3-1, so that's the game I have to recap. But the Mother's Day games, so let's get through those really quickly and then we can talk about the other ones. So, if you were expecting Shea or Jokic to have a good game, I got bad news. We are at the point of watching 0-4 hoops. I think defense in the playoffs has gone too far. I know you're saying, what do you mean? So normally I would expect these types of scores out of the Eastern Conference games. I should not be seeing them in a series where Shea and Jokic exist. Now I knew Jokic was gonna have like probably one of the worst series he's ever had because A, this defense is historic. B, this defense has literally everything you could possibly ask to guard a Jokic. But I didn't think Shea would have an offensive series this bad. Because I'm gonna be honest, Russell Westbrook and Jamal Murray as primary defenders because Christian Brown is not going to be able to play enough minutes because he's not good enough offensively. That wasn't moving me. I was like, the Nuggets realistically have 8 players in a rotation. In a playoff rotation, you need 9 players. And I know you're saying, why would you need 9 players in a playoff rotation? You only need 5 people on the floor at one time. Yeah. You need 9 players on a playoff rotation. So here's the thing. They don't have a backup big because their backup big is DeAndre Jordan. That's the thing that a lot of NBA teams don't have anymore. Backup bigs, which is why Cleveland struggling right now makes no fucking sense to me. Because Indiana's backup big doesn't exist. Also, another thing with Indiana. Dude, they have been fouling the fuck out of the Cavs and they have not been called. I know you're saying, well, Donovan Mitchell got to the free throw line such and such and such and such in game 2, 3, and 4. Dude, he is literally going to the rim and almost dying on every fucking play. Another reason why the Cavs have been sucking because, Mitchell's 3 has been very inconsistent. I've said this throughout the entire playoffs, though, so they're not really as concerning. But talking about niggas who were in the fucking best in the world conversations, there's a reason. So, look, there's a reason why I have Shea a tier below a Giannis and a Jokic because they're the best players in the fucking world. I might have, and if it weren't for Shea performing so terribly in the playoffs this year, I would like to point this out real quick. Last year was his first real playoff series as the number 1 option, right? And his numbers last year look great. I would like to point this out though really quickly. It's because he played against Luka and Kyrie. It's because Luka and Kyrie were on the floor so fucking much, and the Mavericks needed those 2 on the floor because their perimeter defense was terrible. Yes, the Mavericks were the number 1 defense post-trade deadline. We all know this is a statistic they kept spouting out. Luka had moments where there was Shea on the floor. PJ Washington was not enough. We all know this. The series in which he played Herb Jones, where he played the Pelicans right before this, yeah, he wasn't playing nearly as good. We all know this. So let's look at now, when I'm talking about this team, and debatably, I would say Jamal Murray, not as bad as a defender as a Kyrie Irving or a Luka Doncic. And then he has Christian Brown thrown at him, and then he has some other solid-ish players thrown at him. Dude, they're sitting 3 to this thing. So, normally you can say, oh, they're soft doubling. So soft doubling looks like this. My man is on me, right? They have a nigga who's deterring my drive and making me want to pass to this one. But the reason I can't pass to the man in the corner right now is because this soft double. Now, this soft double means he's angling his body whereas though he can jump out and get this pass from me. And if you're not a great passer, and I mean a world's level passer, I mean like a Luka level passer, a Jokic level passer, recently Giannis's passing game stepped up, a LeBron level passer, a Chris Paul level passer, those types of guys. Not one of those passers. That's a hard pass. Especially if they're giving you contact in the body. Now you have to focus all of your strength into that pass. That's not who Shea is. Shea's not one of those playmakers yet. Shea is a great offensive player. Don't get it twisted. I haven't seen it this series. And the entire Memphis series, I was like, he's not driving to the rim as much. He's settling for threes. So when we look at his numbers throughout the entire postseason, I'm not going to pull them up because I don't think I don't really think I should have to pull them up to say that he's not living up to 33 points in the regular season. I expected him to at least have 28, 29 on good splits. Dude, it's not happened. And the only reason his splits would look really, really good or even decent in this series is because of how good of a game he had in game 2. And I know you really don't need to have a great, and I know in the playoffs you don't need to have a great game every single game to have really good to have good numbers, to have really good numbers or decent numbers, especially when you think about it, context and all that shit, right? You don't need that. But Shai has been really, really bad. Really, really, really bad. And I'm talking about not just bad at the start of the game. So Ant has had that problem where he's been bad at the start of the game, but finished the game really, really well. No, this motherfucker has been bad in the most important parts of the game. Like, really, really, really terrible. I said in one of my videos previously that the Thunder have the perfect defense to guard Jokic. Dude, Jokic has been settling for threes. So remember that game where he went 0 for 11 and they grinded out a win and by the way, 0 for 11 from 3, not from the field, from 3. Dude, what the man? Dude, so here's what Jokic needs to do. For starters, because they're not going to win the series. The Thunder just have too many bodies they can throw at them. Even if Shai is not having a good game, they have too many bodies. And their small ball lineup is actually dominating these things. Shout out to Aaron Gordon, though, who's been the clutchest, besides Brunson, who has the clutch player of the year. Go ahead and give that shit to Aaron Gordon because, goddamn, every single shot he has made, man, Yep, that was game 1. And by the way, if you're wondering about what I have to say about the supporting cast, everyone was bad. Everyone was bad. Like, the defense was amazing. Don't get it twisted. It got to the point where I tuned into this game and niggas had scored 8 points in the first quarter. The Denver Nuggets had scored 8 points in the first quarter. By the way, I would like to point this out real quick. The Denver Nuggets are an historic offense with Jokic on the floor. That's how good they are. They're an historic offense with Jokic on the floor. They're a 23rd ranked defense in the league. This is the team Shai is struggling to score on. This team doesn't have a Herb Jones. It's really bad. Like, embarrassing is an understatement. It's downright disappointing. Like, I don't really know what more needs to be said about this. It's horrible basketball that is being played by Shai. So yeah, please, I encourage you to look at his splits. Pulling them up probably would hurt my eyes. I'm not gonna lie. As far as the Cleveland game and why they're down 3-1, so look, I'm not gonna lie, they got routed. They got dogged. Everything that could have went wrong in Game 5 did go wrong in Game 5. Do I think the series is over? No, because again, they have to. Now Cleveland has 2 more games potentially in Cleveland. They need to win in Indiana. They need to win another game in Indiana. I think they can do that. Here's another thing: the officiating in this series has been terrible. I just think it's been bad. Like, the physicality that I've been seeing out of the Indiana Pacers. And by physicality, I mean fouling that's not being called by the Indiana Pacers has been egregious. There was Donovan Mitchell has a drive to the rim where the drive is clearly, I mean, he's just pushed out of the air. Now, I would like to point this out. In Game 1, Evan Mobley tugged the jersey slightly of Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin, who is capable of finishing through that level of contact, flailed back and got stuffed by the rim, right? They called that a foul. That's Game 1. We're now in Game 4, right? It's Game 4. Donovan Mitchell goes to the basket. He is already beyond beating the guy. He gets shoved out of the air. Not tugged at his jersey. Not a little bump with the hand. Not some hit. The guy's not going fully vertical. There's a little bit of shift and pause. right? I'm talking shoved out of the air, not a flagrant. I don't really know what to say. Our players have been injured, so I will give them that. Speaking of injuries, we'll get into that very quickly because that's the next game we're going to talk about. But yeah, players have been injured in this series. I'm not really surprised. And by the way, the reason they've been injured is because of the fucking fouls and physicalities as you've been seeing from them, and dirty plays from the Pacers. By the way, Benedict Mathurin punched DeAndre Hunter in the dick this game. And the only reason, and I'm not gonna lie, the only reason Hunter didn't get thrown out is because the refs don't want to throw niggas out of the game. But they looked at Benedict Mathurin and was like, dude, you punched the man in the dick. You gotta go. Benedict Mathurin punching niggas in the groin. Crazy, right? Those two have been at it the entire fucking series, by the way. For obvious reasons. So, let's talk about the next game. Alright, so, obviously, I can't say this without getting through this video and being very serious about this topic. Jason Tatum suffered a non-contact injury that looks very much to see, and as any basketball fan knows, that looks like an Achilles injury. We've seen this countless times before. We saw it with Dame recently. So it's a very easy to identify injury. He put no weight on it. The Celtics are done. And I think this is honestly more disappointing than Cleveland because up until this point, they hadn't been injured. Up until this point, they hadn't been playing the best. Up until this point, all of the Knicks wins have come down double digits. And games 1 and 2, 20 points. And game 4 of the Knicks series, they came back down 14. And I was saying, well, Tatum got hurt, right? They probably wouldn't come back. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck that Tatum got hurt at that point. Because the Knicks were already winning that game when Tatum got hurt. The Knicks were already winning the quarter when he got hurt. They were on pace and had the momentum before he got hurt. Now, I can see your point of thinking, well, if Tatum's there, they finish the game out and they go back to Boston up 2-2. Let's talk about this real quick. Because it was an outlier when Jokic did it. It was an outlier when Shea did it in the other series. I'm going to say it right now. Jason Tatum's 42 points in the Madison Square Garden is an outlier. I know I told you guys that the Celtics are a much better road team than they are a home team. I said that. True, it's a fact. Look at the numbers. But to be completely honest with you, and I don't know if anyone needs to hear this, Tatum scoring 42 points this playoff is an outlier. In this series, it's an outlier. This 42 points is only going to make his averages throughout the series look respectable because the shooting was insane. So don't bank on you need. I know your superstar is going to have a good game eventually, right? One of your superstars is going to have a good game. If your superstar is a superstar, they're going to have a good game. This is the only moment where he looked like a superstar. This series, last series he was 36 points on against a very, very, very good defense in the playoffs. Yeah. This is the first game where he woke up and was playing like him, not only just himself, but good, really good. That was an outlier. You weren't going to get that in Boston. I don't believe you were going to get that in Boston. I truly don't, right? So, yeah, they're down 3-1. It's, not only is it tough, it's just like, it's insane. Now, I don't like the way that dominated the basketball world, and that was what most people were talking about instead of the fact that Ant and Julius Randle, who were currently playing after that game, and were playing at that point in time, you know, the that looks like the son of Michael Jordan, who had an amazing game. He had a great game. I'm gonna fucking pull up the laptop so I can illustrate how good that game is. I only want to really talk about the positivity things and stuff about this series, and as a whole. Jimmy looked way too passive in that game, so let me give my shit to him first. Jimmy, you looked way too passive. Draymond actually came out to hoop. He was playing amazing defense. He always plays amazing defense, to be fair, and his offense was respectable from what I expect of a Draymond Green. The offense was really, really good. Like, there's so little bad you could really say about it. Ant though. Ant fucking. Hey. That boy Ant, he hit a run. So this game was a close game. It was a really close game until the third quarter. And you might be saying, well, what happened in the third quarter? I'll tell you what fucking happened in the third quarter. I'll tell you what happened in the third quarter. That nigga Ant went absolutely fucking nuts last game. I'm telling you, like in the third quarter, I don't think he missed a he kept hitting threes. This can't be the right day. Yeah, this is not the right day. That's just so annoying, bro. Box score. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is the right. Yeah, it pulled up the wrong Minnesota game. This is the right day. Let me load. Damn it. I don't got time for this shit. 15 minutes in. I thought this was gonna be a longer video. Yeah. Turns out I don't really have much to say. Box score, because Ant went fucking ballistic, and the final score was 117-110. But yeah, no, the game was literally over in third. Like when Ant hit that run and went ballistic, yeah, the shit was over. Shit was up. I just like to point this out. It's another game where Ant starts out the game a little slow and really comes out gunning and then finish the game. I don't know if he's going to be able to afford to do that against OKC or whoever actually comes out of the series. At this point, it's tied 2-2. Yeah, Ant and Julius Randle, nope, not dragging it. Nigga, they were reminding me of Kyrie and LeBron when they came out versus Golden State in that one series. You know the series, the 2016 finals. Nigga, they looked that good. It was those two and the rest of the nobodies. That's how it felt. So let's talk about this real quick. Both Ant and both of this dynamic duo, 30 plus points, bruh. Both 11 for 21 for the field. Hey, bro, I'm so serious. They were just, it was crazy. Ant went 6-11 from 3, 6 of 11 from 3, insane. Julius Randle 4 of 8 from 3. Jake McDaniel, another game where he's not an offensive liability, and I'm gonna grab 13 rebounds. Oh my god, bro. Ant hit like 5 threes back to fucking back, basically. That's what it felt like, at least. Came down the court, and I'm talking about came down the court, yam, on Kevon Looney. Came down the court, I'm telling you, he like right after the free throw line, off a 2-foot bounce. You know Ant getting up there. You know Ant getting up there with this guy. 2-foot bounce, got to the... Damn! It didn't go in, but that's... I'm not gonna lie, that missed dunk looked better than the poster. What the fuck? Nigga, Donte DiVincenzo. And I know 2 for 7, not impressive, but nigga, the threes that he did hit, when he hit those threes, man, I was like, can they miss? Naz Reid 1-3 was in that stretch where they blew it open in the third quarter. Hit that 1-3. Bounce, skadoosh. That might have been, and I'm not sure if that was his 3 or Donte DiVincenzo's 3. But them 3, when they hit them threes, yeah, the game was over. It was close to that point, but that shit was up. By the way, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, proven to be playable in a playoff game. 13 points, missed no shots. Not from the line, not from 3, and not from the field. The turnovers, a bit much, but yeah, not the world's greatest ball handler, so not surprised. Talk about Jimmy real quick. Jimmy, you only took 9 shots this game. Niggas needed you to actually take a lot of shots. It didn't happen. This was really similar to the last game that they played in Golden State, where well, not to that degree, because obviously, Kuminga and Jimmy Butler were going fucking stupid. But they got a lot more help from the supporting cast this game. Benchemsky didn't play to the world's greatest standards, but Buddy Hield looks like was getting ran off the 3-point line. He only had 2 of his 6 and was getting to the free throw line, a decent amount considering. But he was only getting to the free throw line because he was coming off the thing. I would like to point out Jonathan Kuminga. Kuminga just went cold at the wrong time, not gonna lie. And the real reason they really lost this game is because instead of having to get the ball out of the net, the Warriors' offense in the third quarter. Remember when I was telling you about those threes that like ended the game? All of those threes were basically not given to them, but the defense wasn't set because they had to get back because there was bad turnovers, and some of them were dead ball turnovers. Don't get it twisted. But the live ball turnovers killed the Warriors in that third quarter. Absolutely ruined the game. So yeah, if you think that the Warriors could have won this game, yeah, you need them to not do that ever. It was fucking terrible. It was god awful. Another game where Moses Moody don't get any minutes. I don't know what it is and why Steve Kerr decides that he can't play Moses Moody and Kuminga, but that needs to change. And here's another thing. I don't know why Kuminga wasn't playing when Stephen Curry was there, because their offense really needed a lift in that Houston series, and he didn't play. Again, don't know what the fuck is going on. Did this nigga fuck Steve Kerr's daughter or something? Because, like, he seems to only play this nigga when he's like, man, fuck it. They're not going to fire my ass. Secret weapon. Go! Go, Gadget. Kuminga. I'm in a hole. I'm cooked. Come bucket. Go! The games of tonight. So, in a 2-2 series, whichever team wins games 5 is normally the team that wins the series. So, I just like to point this out real quick. Game 5 is in OKC. If the Thunder do not win this game tonight, you can go ahead and mentally send them motherfuckers to Cancun. It's a must-win game for them. Even though neither team is facing elimination, it is a must-win game. Game 5 is like that, especially a series tied 2-2. Fuck, in any series, to be quite honest. Game 5 is normally the deciding factor at this point. Game 5 for Cleveland. You motherfuckers are in Cleveland. You motherfuckers are, well, not fully healthy, but as healthy as I think you can be at this point in time, given the context. You niggas need to get your shit together. You need to at least win one fucking game in Cleveland this series. That's what you need to do. That's what needs to happen from you motherfuckers. So both of the 60-win teams tonight that still have their best players, you need to win a game at home. Because if either of you teams do not win a game at home, both of you are going to Cancun. Because if the Nuggets steal another game from OKC at home, there will be discussions had, because this was not expected of them. They were supposed to easily get past you niggas in 5. Right? We'll talk about that. There will be a pretty obvious reason why they don't do that. Shea needs to have a game, a good game, a very good game. Wipe out some of that filth that I'm tasting. As far as Cleveland, Indiana has bitched you repeatedly. They have snatched your fucking chain. They have made you look stupid. You are a 60+ win team. If you do not get a single game, if you do not win a single game at home, there will be discussions, and you will not escape them until you escape the second fucking round. The East is wide open. Whoever comes out of this series can beat the New York fucking Knicks. I hate to break it to you. They can beat the Knicks. The Cavs can beat them, and I know for a fact Indiana can beat the Knicks. So right now, you need to win this series. And for Indiana, this is a must-win game for you niggas too. Because if you choke a 3-1 lead, if you thought the way they talk about you niggas now is nasty, it's gonna get so much worse. So for both teams involved, must-win game. Because the longer you drag out Cleveland, the longer them niggas take to get healthy. And if that happens, you're in trouble, buddy. That's all I gotta say for today, though. 24 minutes in, that's pretty good. Yeah, 25-minute video out of me. Good length, good girth. Anyway, if you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't like the video, don't dislike the video. Tell me why you didn't like it in the comment section below. Blah, 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 blah. Subscribe, yada, 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 yada. Appealing to the YouTube algorithm. Please put me on.